Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, September 21st. I regretfully, again, we continue to lose folks. We've lost 12 additional people since we were here on Monday, and so I ask again for your prayers. And I wish to goodness we could all totally understand that this thing is not gone. I don't care what in the world our president, who seems lost as a ball in high weeds at times, comes up with, but this thing's not gone. But we can live with it. And we don't need to fear it nonstop like we were, but at the same time, I ask that you'll please just consider these booster shots and the vaccinations I will never infringe on our rights. I'll never infringe on your opinion, and I'll be respectful of that always. But at the same time, I ask that you'll please consider, because it's getting ready to be wintertime or fall, and it's going to get colder, and we're going to go indoors. And the more we're indoors, the closer we are together. And the likelihood of this spreading even faster, is off the chart of where it is right now. So it's probably going to get worse in some ways. We know that there's a plateauing that we're trying to look forward to in West Virginia, but losing 12 additional people, since Monday, it's a shame. And daggone, it just tears my guts out. And I can't imagine just how difficult this is for these families. And it's really just sad. But the 7,368th death is an 88-year-old male from Berkeley County. The 7,369th death, a 46-year-old male from Marshall County. The 7,370th death, a 70-year-old male from Grant County. The 7,371st death, a 76-year-old male from Lewis County. The 7,372nd death, a 96-year-old female from Lewis County. The 7,373rd death, a 62-year-old female from Mineral County. The 7,374th death, a 78-year-old male from Taylor County. The 7,375th death, a 73-year-old male from Lincoln County. The 7,376th death, a 72-year-old male from Boone County. The 7,377th death, a 64-year-old female from Logan County. The 7,378th death, an 82-year-old female from Putnam County. And the 7,379th death in West Virginia is an 83-year-old female from Hancock County. Active cases in West Virginia, 1,723. New positive cases, 594. Daily positivity rate is at 7.59. And the cumulative positivity rate is at 8.56. We have 588,201 folks that have recovered from this dreaded pandemic. We have 298 people that are hospitalized, 43 in the ICU units and 15 on ventilators. All of our counties are green and gold, and the green counties are getting more, and that part's really good. And we just don't have any gold counties, and that's really good. I remind you about the Omicron booster shot. Like I told you the other day, our First Lady got hers. I got mine about a week before that. No side effects whatsoever. Absolutely, it's available to age 12 and older now. You've got to have your prior shots, but please consider this. From the standpoint of our numbers, now we're at 91.9% of the 65 and olders that have had at least one shot, and that's good. Like I said, 91.9%. We're at 84.5% of at least one shot on our 50 and older, 73.2% of the 18 and over. We still struggle down, on below that. 5 and older, we're at 67.6%. So younger folks and everything, probably feel like they're invincible. we need to consider the vaccinations there as well. But with all that said, our older folks, first and foremost, need to be vaccinated. So please consider. The vaccine calculator, the COVID vaccine info lines, all up on our website. If you'll register on the website for the calculator, we'll be able to tell you and remind you about getting your booster shots when they're needed. We have 104 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities. We have none in the church community, 59 inmates, and 54 staff cases in corrections. The Homeowners Assistance Program that I tell you about over and over is still available. It can put significant dollars in your pocket if you qualify. If you're having a hard way to go, you own your home and everything, please call us and see if we can get you registered. It will not only help you, but it'll help the state of West Virginia from the standpoint there's multiplier dollars that go out to all of our communities and everything. It really is helpful. From the standpoint of giving blood, I tell you over and over, the Red Cross needs you. We all need you. Talk to your physician, and if they concur and everything, please consider it. Now, this is neat stuff. I've got 2 announcements here and everything, but there's, we started this Waterfall Trail, and the success of the Waterfall Trail in West Virginia continues to be a success that now has received over 20,000 participant check-ins that we've gotten so far. We didn't launch this until early June, and now we've gotten in excess of 20,000 that have come from 41 different states and 15 different countries. Nearly 3,000 exclusive Waterfall Trail prizes have been shipped to participants so far. I'll tell you about the prizes in just one second. But the trail has been recognized by national travel publications such as Travel and Leisure, Southern Living, and USA Today. And I'm going to read this right here to you, please. That to get started, visit www.tourism.com and register to have West Virginia Waterfall Trail Passport, the West Virginia Waterfall Trail Passport delivered straight to your smartphone. Check in at 10 or more waterfalls and you'll receive an aluminum water bottle, which is pretty neat stuff. And if you check in at 20 or more of our waterfalls in this great state, you'll receive a Waterfall t-shirt. Now, or a Waterfall Trail t-shirt. Now, just stay with me just one second. What we will really be receiving is beauty beyond belief, stuff that touches your soul. I mean, West Virginia abounds in that beauty that nobody can imagine. It is spectacular beyond all belief. And so absolutely, try to take advantage of this. These waterfalls are absolutely spectacular. But this great state has so much to offer. And we congratulate Secretary Ruby. I just was saying just a second ago, what an absolute superstar Chelsea is. And we thank her and everything. But all the folks that are coming up with this good stuff just promotes and brings more and more people to West Virginia. 41 states have now been here and 15 countries on the Waterfall Trails. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. So great stuff. And the only other thing I've got is at 2 o'clock today, we're going to be announcing a kind of a rebirth of bobwhite quail in West Virginia, where our DNR is doing great work. They're going to be a huntable population instantaneously, but we're in the process. We're almost done. We've been doing it, through the course of the summer and everything, releasing birds, that are 10 weeks old. I've done this myself a bunch. I've seen it done and everything. That it'll be an instantaneous huntable population this fall. We hope that all of our bird hunters and people will have a nice time. We'll enjoy them, and we hope for regeneration. And the more regeneration we have, the better off we'll be and everything. But next spring, you should start to hear some bobwhite quail calling and everything in the spring. And it's just really good stuff. It's a beautiful sound that we've missed for a long time in West Virginia. We didn't have massive populations of quail, because we surely did have some habitat loss and everything through the years and everything. But with all that, we still had a really nice population of quail in West Virginia. And then we really what happened was the winter of 1977 when Governor Rockefeller at the time sent everybody home with the blizzard coming. You'll remember that, but you may have forgotten the fact that in early January we had consecutive days. I'll never forget it, never ever forget it, because it just decimated our quail population in West Virginia. I've always been a real avid bird hunter and everything, but we had almost like 12 consecutive days that we had real temperatures significantly below zero, and I don't mean wind chill, I mean real temperatures below zero, and we had 20 inches of snow on the ground, and it stayed on the ground till early days of March, and it crusted over. There was just, and quail depend on being able to feed on ragweed and things like this, and it just absolutely wiped them out. And so really it was really tough, and we want to try to, if we can, get our quail started back in West Virginia. We're doing some wild quail stocking in areas, but we're doing some stockings, with these 10-week-old birds and everything in areas that have no quail whatsoever. And so if we can get them going, that'll be really good, and at least it's a chance. It's a shot, and so we're trying. So I salute the DNR and Brett McMillian and all the leadership there and all the folks that what a job they're doing. And they're really great people, and they do great work for all of us, and we should be very, very thankful for them all across the board. Law enforcement, everybody. These people are they're real shining stars, and their pay has not been anything great at all, and we've tried to help along that line, but with all that being said, really and truly, what an incredible work they do for this unbelievable state that has that beauty that attracts people, whether it be hunting or fishing or whatever it may be, whether it's all of our nature trails, whatever it may be. Absolutely, these people do great work. We thank them in every way. That's all I've got for right now.
All right, thank you, Governor. Let's now go to Secretary Bill Crouch with the DHHR.
Thank you, Jordan. Good morning. DHHR will issue a supplemental payment to individuals who received low-income energy assistance through the LEAP program in the 2022 program year. The payment will range from $25 to $465 and will be based on the amount of LEAP assistance paid to the utility provider or to the client for bulk fuel. The supplemental payment will be issued to the company that provided the main heating source for the individual's home, such as the electric company or the gas company. Individuals who received LEAP payments for bulk fuel will receive a check by mail. This is a one-time payment. All clients should receive that assistance by the end of September. All I have. Thank you, Jordan.
All right, thank you, Secretary. We'll now go to questions from members of the media. The first today from Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Governor and cabinet members and fellow reporters. Governor, on a topic aside from COVID, there's going to be a significant development today in the U.S. Senate in terms of the Mountain Valley Pipeline project and whether it gets included in the continuing resolution to keep the government operating. As you know, Senator Bernie Sanders has threatened to torpedo the whole thing because he doesn't like this, what he calls a side deal between Senator Manchin and Senator Schumer to fund the pipeline, or at least to permit the pipeline, in exchange for Senator Manchin supporting the Inflation Reduction Act. Be that as it may, how critical do you view the Mountain Valley Pipeline to the state of West Virginia? What do you think the impact will be if it does not get completed? I've heard that we could get to $200 million a year in revenue, whether it be severance tax and other taxes. That's a significant portion of income to this state. So again, how important is the Mountain Valley Pipeline to this state in your estimation? And what's going to be the impact if it does not get built or finished?
Well, Mark, first of all, Bernie Sanders has managed to torpedo a lot of things. I think what he needs to do is go back and star in a Back to the Future movie, and get away from us. I mean, get away from hurting this great country, and really I can't speak good words about what Bernie Sanders has contributed to any of us. But with all that being said, I don't mean to be casting stones there and everything. The Mountain Valley Pipeline is monstrously important, absolutely, to the state of West Virginia, but more important to our nation. I mean, we need energy independence. I mean, for crying out loud, you go outside right this second and look at the gas pumps and everything, and look at what is really happening to your heating oils, and absolutely look what's going on in Europe. Look what is happening to your electricity bills. I mean, absolutely. Do we not have enough good sense to realize that America could lead the way? And gas is absolutely clean energy, but America could lead the way in cleaner, better energy that could save so many lives across this world. It would be off the chart. I mean, Mark, I've said it 1,000 times, but the more energy that we have in this world, the better people live, the more healthier they are, the longer people live. Absolutely. Now, none of us is sitting around saying, oh, let's have filthy, dirty energy and everything. Literally, at the end of the day, all of us are, at least all of us around me, are embracing alternative energy sources. But the Mountain Valley Pipeline, literally, or other pipelines that we have within the state of West Virginia, between Pennsylvania, Ohio, and us, we're sitting on a natural resource of natural gas that is off the chart, biggest in the world. Now, with all that being said, you just think about the folks that are in Europe today that are being basically held hostage by Russia, and they're moving away from Russia, and wintertime is getting ready to happen. It's really going to be tough. There is so many opportunities for us to develop and export gas, to Europe. There's so many opportunities all through this country that need us and need what we have. I mean, it just blows me away. And I could go on about this forevermore because, I'm an energy guy. I know this stuff and everything, and I totally understand it. And so with all that being said, I hope to goodness that all this flies through and we're able to complete the Mountain Valley Pipeline and complete other pipelines within the state of West Virginia, because it will only benefit this country and this world in a really significant positive way.
All right, thank you, Mark. Next to Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. Governor, I wanted to ask about the National Guard members that are still assisting with the COVID response. I know the Guard's formal role ended at the beginning of July, but at that time there were about 60 Guard members that were elevated to active duty status through yesterday. Now that that's expired, I just want to know, did we re-up that, or are they still assisting? Thank you.
Charles, I'm gonna have to get you more information on that. I can't answer that because I've got to get more information on that and everything. And I think General Hoyer's not with us today. Is that correct? And everything. So we'll have to get back to you on that.
All right, thanks, Charles. Next is Steve Adams with Ogden Newspapers.
Yeah, Steve Adams of Ogden Newspapers here. Obviously, the special session ended the last week with no movement or any further movement on your tax reform plan going forward. And that's probably, unless you call another special session, I suspect that's going to be the last opportunity before we get to the 2023 legislative session. We got Amendment 2 on the ballot. You've made your opinion very much known on that. Unbeknownst to me until earlier this week, but there's a draft bill that the Senate Republicans are pushing around that would appear to do both. Providing a 10% personal income tax cut. The rates are a little different from yours, but it's 10% across the board, along with their plan to eliminate the tangible personal property taxes. I guess my question would be, you've taken a couple cracks now at the tax reform issue. Are we going to see another opportunity from you going into 2023? Depending on if Amendment 2 passes, do you foresee some sort of hybrid plan going forward? Or are you just about burnt out on trying to get everybody on the same page on tax reform? Thank you.
Well, I'll never be burned out, and everything, because I guess until the good Lord decides my days on this earth are done and everything, and I'm going to go be with him, I'm not going to get burned out, Stephen. There's no way. I mean, I'm stuck on all the time. The good Lord's given me a lot of energy and everything, and I'm going to stay with that. But I truly believe this, Stephen, with all in me. I believe in order for this to work for me, it's just as simple as just this. It has to be responsible. It absolutely has to be responsible from the standpoint, no matter what we do in regard to taxes, that we mind the store of the state of West Virginia in a prudent and correct way. Basically, the bottom line to the whole thing is, from a standpoint of the machinery and inventory tax, basically what is happening there, this, I don't know how to explain this any better than this. It would be like me walking up to you saying, Stephen, I want you to put your wallet out here, and all your money out of your wallet, I want to take all the money out of your wallet, every bit. And not only that, any more money that you get to put in your wallet, I want the money. And then I'm going to promise you that I'm going to get it back to you. That's really what we're doing. We're taking all the money away from local control of our counties, whether it be for schools or EMSs or police department, fire departments, and basically then Charleston is going to say, and I'll promise I'll get it back to you. There's been too many political promises that have not been able to be kept. And with all of that to me is irresponsible. And at the end of the day, this state is cooking in a really positive way, but there's no guarantees beyond belief that it's just going to stay that way. And then we surely don't want to get in a situation where we're having to go back and cut services on a county level. And that's what can happen. I mean, it absolutely can happen. And really and truly, just to tell it like it is, dupe does happen. And along the way, there's a high likelihood at some point in time that can and will happen. Now, Stephen, I have said over and over and over, if we want to get rid of our property tax, personal property tax on our automobiles, I'm all in. I'm all in. Absolutely, though, we all know, and everybody said it and said it and said it and said it, without any question whatsoever, the driver to drive growth to any state is the elimination of the personal income tax. We don't need to get in a situation to where we come up with such a huge number. Let's just say what we wanted to do. We wanted to take 500 or 600 or 700 million on the machinery and inventory tax, and we wanted to take 130 million on the personal vehicle tax, and we want to take 254 million on the PIT, the 10% of the personal income tax. Now, if you put it all together, it's rolling the dice on $900 million, or maybe rolling the dice on $1 billion in our state. It's a really, really big risk, isn't it? A big, big, big risk. And not only that, you've only done 10% of the personal income tax. And to do the other 90% at some point in time is going to cost $2 billion more every year out of the state's revenue. That's what we're looking at. If we do this way, there's no way on God's earth that we will ever get rid of our personal income tax in West Virginia. It is the secret key to bringing growth to any state. And if we're not on a pathway of doing that, we're going to get left behind at some point in time. Now, things are really, really good today. Really, really good. I would be absolutely an advocate wholeheartedly of getting rid of any and all taxes, machinery and inventory included. I never really believed that we had an opportunity in West Virginia to truly get rid of our personal income tax. But we do. We do right now. Now, I won't quit, Stephen. I'm not about to lay down. I'm not about to quit in any way. Absolutely, without any question whatsoever, if you brought me today, get rid of the vehicle tax and do the 10% on the PIT today, I'd sign it right now. Sign it right now. That's all there is to it. You know, without any question, I'd sign it and go on down the road. You know, but that's not what's been proposed to me so far. And I'm standing ready because at the end of the day, absolutely, Stephen, and I'll go to my grave on this one. I'll bet anything and I'll bet every single thing I have on this planet. The key to Emerald City for West Virginia is the personal income tax today. Just look at all the business announcements that I've come up with over and over and over and over. All those business announcements that I've come up with, I haven't had anybody push back on me and say, you know, we'd really like you to get rid of that machinery and inventory tax. Nobody. But absolutely, it's proven everywhere. It's proven everywhere how effective and how it will bring growth to your state. We need people. Stephen, we need people here. The personal income tax is that key. The last thing I'd say is just this. The machinery and inventory tax would benefit Jim Justice's families, businesses, unbelievable. But Jim Justice isn't here to have something that's going to benefit Jim Justice's businesses. Jim Justice is here to serve. Jim Justice is here to do what is in the best interest of the state of West Virginia. I have done that, and I will continue to do that. And the last thing I'd tell you, Stephen, is one thing and one thing point blank. Overwhelmingly, the machinery and inventory tax benefits big companies, big corporations, and many of them are out-of-state corporations. Absolutely, the people are what I'm interested in. The workers are what is the backbone of West Virginia, and I want to help the workers. Now, I don't know how to make it any plainer. In all honesty, I'd be in favor of everything. But being in favor of everything sounds nice, but it's big time risk. It's big time risk. You can't just do everything because you say, oh, well, we're growing really good right now. You can't do that kind of stuff. You remember, Stephen, you've never had a governor that even approaches the business experience that I've had. No way. And I'm telling you, from a businessman's standpoint and everything, we would be making a big time move on the chessboard that would carry with it incredible risk. Well, you know, I think big. I really do. But honest to Pete, that to me that's frivolous. That's all there is to it. It's just plain frivolous, you know, and if we don't watch out, we're getting ourselves in real trouble. The bottom line is just let's do this. Let's help our folks today. Instantly, right now, let's help our folks. Let's put 10% of their income tax back in their pocket. Absolutely. Let's right now do something as far as the automobile tax. We can afford to do that right this second. We can do that right now and do it and absolutely then see where we are. See where we are here in 6 months or 9 months. We may be able to do more. And then as we're able to do more, we may see ourselves clear to be able at some point in time down the road to do the machinery and inventory tax. But I do not believe the answer is put all the control to Charleston in the hands of absolute politicians. Are you kidding me? You know, really and truly, at the end of the day, the people that should be in control of their destinies and stuff is as much as it could be to be in the local hands rather than be in Charleston. Just works better. Those folks surely know a whole lot better what to do with their money. So, I mean, I'm sorry to go on and on, but that's what I think.
All right, thanks, Stephen. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Whew. Okay. Well, we didn't have a lot of our experts on today and everything, so I didn't make any notes, but keep these 12 folks in your prayers. Sago mine disaster, 12 people. I'll never forget at that time Governor Manchin and those miners that were trapped. 11 of them they found dead. Another fellow just pretty tough shape, and how much it was all over the TVs and everything else. 12 people right here, and we've just gotten to where we're used to it. Remember these folks. Remember their families, please. That's all I've got. Thank you.